My name is JJ Slatkin, and I am a fifth-generation Denver native. As a child growing up in Denver, I went to Herzl, which is now the Denver Jewish Day School, and that formed for me the importance of a Jewish education in a child's life. What I learned at Herzl and my early Judaic education has carried through in really every facet of my life going forward. I learned about Keshet when one of my best friends, Avi and Gitti Bulow, found out that they were going to have a child with Down syndrome. Up until this point, I did not realize that the Denver Jewish Day Schools didn't have teachers that can handle children with special needs. And I immediately realized the importance of Keshet and how vital it is that Avi and Gitti's son is given every opportunity that I was given. I support Keshet because I strongly believe in the importance of a Jewish education in every child's life. This Jewish education provides the bedrock morality that they need, the guiding light that will help them through their lives.
It is a thrill to be involved with my son JJ, our son JJ, in all of the wonderful activities and organizations that he supports. It just makes an incredible difference for us to have our son be involved with this organization and also to be honored by such a wonderful group.
JJ and I have been working together for 3 years. He's one of my closest and dearest friends. JJ is constantly volunteering his time to ensure the future of our community. JJ, Mazel Tov on the Rainbow of Hope Award. You deserve it.
Keshet, thank you so very much for honoring me this evening. It is truly an honor to work with the organization on a daily basis and to ensure that the children of our community, special needs or otherwise, are given every opportunity they can to receive a Jewish education. I love this organization, I couldn't support it more, and I urge you all to do the same.
I was born in Czechoslovakia. My father and mother had great insight to leave in 1940, just as the war was starting. And the only place we could go was Mexico at the time, since the war had started and the American consulates were all closed and there were no visas to be had. So we lived in Mexico through the war years and immigrated to the United States in 1948 to West Texas, El Paso, which is where I basically grew up. Went to college there and medical school at the University of Texas, and then went to the East Coast for more training and interned at Philadelphia and did my residency at Cornell in New York in obstetrics and gynecology. Went in the Army for 2 years as an obstetrician, gynecologist, and then back to New York for a fellowship in reproductive endocrinology and fertility. Subsequently came to Denver in 1969, and I've been here ever since.
Ted Engel, as we know him, we call him Ted because he's a great friend. I've known Ted for approximately 35 years, almost since the day we arrived in Denver. And unbeknownst to me at the time, he had already delivered so many kids in this community and continued to deliver so many kids in this community that I have lost count, and I'm sure he has lost count. He's always been involved with children, with youth. He's been very dedicated to the schools and the shuls of this community. And so I think it's very, very fitting that he be given this honor by Keshet, since he's been so instrumental in building up all the different aspects of this Denver Jewish community.
I was married to Renee for 37 years. Sadly, she passed away about 3 years ago. And in fact, if anyone is deserving of this honor, it would be Renee, because she was very compassionate and caring person. She was very supportive of a cause such as this, to help special needs kids and to give them a good start in life. And she is greatly missed. I feel Keshet is very important. You know, I delivered a lot of kids, and I feel that all kids should start on as much of a level playing field as possible. Prior to Keshet, these special needs kids were pretty much abandoned. You know, they weren't taken care of by anyone in particular, unless they had really very involved parents. Now we have an organization that reaches out to these families, provides them with services and programs, and allows them to grow and to do the best they can and get as good a start in life as possible. I feel it's very important. You know, this is not, I don't seek these kind of honors. You know, it's not in my nature to look for publicity and this kind of thing. But in talking it over with my family, they felt I should really do this because of the nature of the organization and the importance that we all put on Keshet.
I remember when Yitzi was 2 years old and we were having his evaluation. This was in Milwaukee, and he was developmentally delayed at the time. That was his diagnosis. And after the evaluation, we were having a meeting and they were telling us the results of the evaluation. And it was at that time they suggested that Yitzi attend a special preschool called St. Francis, where he would be able to get occupational therapy and speech therapy and all the educational therapy that he needed. I was just so upset that my hopes for a Jewish education for my child were dashed at that moment.
And it was always very hurting when, I mean, it hurt Yitzi more than anything else, watching Levi and Usher always coming back from Hillel Academy and knowing the Parsha so well and being able to answer all their questions. And he would just sit there on the side. And Yitzi's not very, he's verbal, but he can express himself very, very well. And you can always see a little, you know, say sad face. He was always just staring and sort of wanting to be part of the picture, but not, there was nothing for him to answer. And that was always a very sad moment for us. Every Shabbat, just by, you know, watching our whole family together and all the students and everybody having fun together and just wanting Yitzi to be part of the Jewish education that his brothers had.
We're always very active with informal Jewish education with Yitzi, and I think people are always quite impressed by how much he knows, and we started teaching him to read Hebrew, and he knows so much about Jewish holidays and songs and stories and games. But that formal Jewish education piece was always a challenge, and so I decided that it was time to change that, and I was lucky to find a teacher, Emily Kival, who had just moved from New York and was very capable and very experienced in teaching special education. And she was ready to be the teacher for our new Sunday school. And it was Yitzi and one other student, and they would come together every Sunday, and Emily would teach them. And one of the things she taught them was the Parsha, the weekly Torah portion. And Yitzi's face would just light up every Shabbat when he came with his pictures of the Parsha, and he was able to tell everybody at the table what he had learned, and he was able to feel a part of that. And we really hope that this Sunday school will grow, because there definitely are a lot of children in the Denver and Boulder area whose needs aren't currently met by the day schools and the services that Keshet offers within a day school. So for all those children whose needs are beyond what the day schools have to offer, the Sunday school now can serve them, and they can have a formal Jewish education too in a way that best serves their needs.
You know, my job and Leah's job is to encourage Jewish people to be more involved and to learn how to be more Jewish
do
and
more mitzvot.
do more mitzvot. And Yitzi is just, you know, just walks in and, have you kissed the mezuzah yet? Every person gets that. You want a prayer book? Right away. This is the page number, this is the prayer book. If someone comes late, you want to make kiddush, here's grape juice, he'll show them to the fridge, he'll show them where to wash.
It's that his love for Judaism is so sincere that it's contagious, and nobody can be unaffected by that sincere love.
And we hear so much about all people with special needs have a special soul. And I think that it's real. I think it's really true. I think there's no question that someone like Yitzi, his love for God and his love for Yiddishkeit and Judaism and Torah it's natural. It's just there. You can't fake it.
I'm so pleased to be here tonight, chairing the Keshet dinner and honoring Rabbi Yisroel and Leah Wilhelm, dear friends of ours, who epitomize what Parents of the Year are all about. They have 3 beautiful sons and a beautiful daughter, and they have put in 1,000% of themselves into helping their special needs son, Yitzhak Meir, and that has not come at a price to their other children, that has not come at a price to the community they service up at CU Boulder. They are remarkable people. They are upbeat and positive about their situation, about their hope for the future of Yitzhak Meir, for the community support they get, and for what they have as far as expectations for him Jewishly. The 2 of them, Rabbi Yisroel and Leah, have more energy than almost any other couple I know. Positive energy, that's what it is. It's all about the positive. It's about seeking the best and doing the most that they possibly can, always with a smile, always with a kind word, always willing to help others, and never losing sight of what their goals are.
Rabbi Wilhelm and Rebbetzin Leah are wonderful parents, not only to their children, to whom they provide amazing Torah-based love, but to the children of the University of Colorado. I get to see firsthand as a member of the neighborhood and one who, with my wife, davens in the community, how much they give, how much they love, and how much Yiddishkeit they can bring to students who may otherwise be at least temporarily lost to our people. They're wonderful parents in all aspects of that term, and they have the love of the Finbergs as well as Greater Boulder.
And we always say, so here is this child who loves Judaism more than anybody else, and these special children whose souls are so in touch with God and with Judaism and with the Torah. And instead of they're having an equal opportunity at education like their peers, they have less of an opportunity. And we really think that needs to change, that these children have to have as much of an opportunity as everybody else, and maybe even more so because of their special souls and their special connection.
We moved to Boulder with our own choice, and we came here and we knew we had a kid with autism, and we just appreciate that this community has an organization like Keshet that makes sure to welcome a family like us and a child like Yitzi into the Jewish education system and make sure that he has an opportunity to have top-notch Jewish education. We really appreciate that a lot.